Imagine a world where every day was a fight for survival. A million years ago, our ancestors roamed a planet teeming with danger. This wasn't a world of comfort or security. It was a brutal arena where only the vigilant, the strong, and the clever survived. For the most vulnerable members of the tribe, the children's life was incredibly precarious. This is the story of how our earliest ancestors fought to protect their young, a struggle that would ultimately shape the very course of human evolution. The world they inhabited was a double-edged sword. Lush, dense forests and flowing rivers promised resources, but they also concealed deadly threats. Every rustle in the undergrowth, every shadow moving at the edge of the clearing could signal the approach of a predator. Saber-toothed cats, with their terrifyingly long canines, stalked the grasslands. Giant hyenas, powerful enough to crush bone, hunted in packs, their calls echoing through the night. Even the herds of massive herbivores, seemingly peaceful, could stampede without warning, trampling everything in their path. Nightfall brought a new level of terror. As darkness blanketed the land, the most formidable predators began their hunt. With eyes adapted for the gloom, they moved like phantoms through the landscape. For early humans, survival depended on constant, unwavering vigilance. Every adult was a sentinel, their eyes scanning the horizon, their ears tuned to the slightest unnatural sound. Natural disasters were an ever-present threat. Sudden, violent storms could cause flash floods, turning a gentle stream into a raging torrent. A lightning strike could ignite a wildfire, consuming their territory in minutes. Surviving this world required more than just strength. It required foresight, cooperation, and an intimate knowledge of the land. They had to know which caves offered refuge and which were already claimed by cave bears. In this perilous world, the bond between parent and child was humanity's greatest strength. A mother would carry her infant securely on her back, keeping her child close while her hands remained free to gather food or navigate difficult terrain. The father, armed with a primitive spear, was the ever-present guardian, his body a shield between his family and the dangers of the wild. But childcare wasn't just a parental duty. It was a community effort. While some adults ventured out to hunt or forage, others remained behind. A dedicated group of guardians watching over the children as they played. Survival was a team sport. This communal care was essential. It allowed for the vital division of labor needed to secure food and resources, while ensuring the next generation was never left undefended. Adults would teach the young from an early age, pointing out the shapes and sounds of predators, instilling a healthy fear that would keep them alive. They taught which berries were safe to eat and which were poison. They showed them how to read tracks in the dirt to know what creature had passed by and when. Every lesson was a matter of life and death. Could you imagine the pressure of teaching your child that a single mistake could be their last? Shelter was a fortress. Whether it was a natural cave fortified at its entrance or a platform built high in the trees, a safe home was paramount. At night, the warm glow of a fire did more than just provide light. It was a barrier of flames that kept the nocturnal hunters at bay. The crackle of burning wood was the sound of safety, a comforting rhythm in a world of silence and fear. The tribe would huddle together, finding warmth and security in numbers, their collective presence a deterrent to any lone predator brave enough to approach. Survival skills weren't just taught. They were absorbed through every waking moment. A child would watch intently as adults crafted tools, hunted game, or gathered plants. This constant observation was their school. Play itself was a form of training. Climbing trees, running races, and wrestling with friends all built the strength, agility, and coordination needed to escape danger. They learned to mimic the warning calls of birds and monkeys, creating a simple but effective communication system to alert the group to threats. A sharp whistle could mean eagle. A low grunt could mean saber-tooth. Making a tool was a lesson in innovation. A child would learn how to select the right stone, how to strike it to create a sharp edge for cutting or scraping. They learned which wood was best for a spear, and how to harden its tip in the fire. They learned which plants had medicinal properties and which could be used to create bindings. These were not abstract lessons. They were practical skills passed down from one generation to the next, a chain of knowledge stretching back into the deep past. The group even practiced emergency drills, learning to retreat to a designated safe spot or hide in silence at a moment's notice. Imagine the scene. Children are playing near the camp, their laughter echoing in the still air. Suddenly, an adult lets out a sharp cry. A saber-toothed cat has been spotted at the edge of the trees, its muscular body low to the ground, stalking. Instantly, the adults spring into action. Some grab spears, forming a defensive line, while others quickly gather the children, pulling them into the safety of the cave. The family huddles together, hearts pounding, as the men shout and wave their weapons to intimidate the great cat. Sometimes the predator would be driven away. Other times, a desperate, violent confrontation was unavoidable. Constant vigilance was what saved lives, day after day. But predators were not the only enemy. Disease or a simple injury, like a broken bone from a fall, could be a death sentence. Without modern medicine, the tribe relied on their knowledge of medicinal plants and the incredible resilience of the human body. Caring for a sick child was an emotional ordeal, a battle fought with rudimentary remedies and unwavering hope. And sometimes the greatest threat came from other humans. Competition for scarce resources could lead to conflict between different tribes, and protecting the young during these encounters was the highest priority. When it was time to move, the migration itself was a monumental undertaking, planned with military precision to ensure the children were protected every step of the way, whether crossing a treacherous river or a vast, open plain. This relentless pressure to protect the young had a profound impact on our evolution. The need for complex communication, strategic planning, and social cooperation drove the development of our intelligence. Our large brains are, in part, a product of this ancient parental struggle. The powerful instincts we feel today, the fierce urge to protect our children, are echoes of this deep past. Communal living wasn't just a lifestyle choice. It was the key to our species' survival. Learning through observation and social transmission allowed our ancestors to adapt and innovate far faster than genetic evolution alone. Every new tool, every improved shelter, every clever strategy was a victory in the long war for survival. As the sun sets, casting long shadows across the savannah, our ancient family rests. The fire crackles, a beacon of safety in the vast darkness. The children, safe for another day, play quietly under the watchful eyes of their elders. Life a million years ago was a daily struggle, a relentless fight against a world that was indifferent to their existence. But in that fight, in the unwavering commitment to protect their young, they forged the foundations of humanity. Their love and their sacrifice are etched into our very DNA. It begs the question, if you were transported back to this world, with all its dangers and none of our modern comforts, do you think you could survive? Thanks for watching. If you found this journey into the past fascinating, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow for more stories from our deep history.